first time ever, Ware in Workshop 13 has had an exclusive comedy show, and I'm super excited to be your host tonight. And I gotta tell you, we just dodged a bullet. A person from the fire department came down, and we exceeded capacity here by 4 people. I didn't know that, and it was overheard by a small group of people, and they volunteered to leave. The bad news is, they're the comedians. So I'm going to be doing a longer set than I planned on, but that's just what happened. So anyway, I would really like to stress what a beautiful place we're in here. When you look around, stained glass windows, it's just a beautiful feel. You couldn't ask for anything better. As you may know, there's a lot of bands that come here. I come here all the time. It's really the heartbeat of Ware, Massachusetts, and we're going to try to make it beat even louder. So, the one thing I'm going to do now is, I've done stand-up in Boston for a little bit, and that's what got me going. I got to meet some people. So what's going to happen is I'm going to start us off, and then we're going to go through this stellar list of comedians, and I really hope we deliver a great performance for you guys. Yeah. Thank you. So, what I want to do right now is Cheryl here. Is there a Cheryl Fair brother here by any chance? Not here right now. Okay, she'll get a shirt later then. Okay, so my name is Chris Murphy, but I go on as colorblind guy because I am colorblind. And I found out that was the case in kindergarten. And kids being as cruel as they are, they took all the labels off of my crayons. But the joke was on them. The joke was on them. I couldn't read either. And my mother was trying to be protective of her colorblind son. You don't want anything wrong with your son, have a difficult life. So around Christmas time, we would sing, Rudolph the Reindeer. She wouldn't even let me join a gang. She was afraid I'd wear purple instead of blue, which is likely and possibly be shot. My dad, on the other hand, God rest his soul, he said, Chris, you just got to play the hand that was dealt. And that was good fatherly advice, because you can't change certain things in life. And I'll never forget his last words. He said, Chris, the light is red. Yeah, it does have some day-to-day problems. But you know what? This is not the colorblind guy season. I'm not good with red and green, so now I hear the foliage season is spectacular. Sunsets, I hear, are special. My wife's always talking about the food on the plate looking so wonderful. But we are not tricked by we are not tricked by camouflage. And this did not go unnoticed in World War II. So colorblind guys were recruited to go on the front lines in the military. And our job was to spot the enemy in the hillside. We were successful. We weren't successful due to our vision. We were successful because we drew their gunfire, and then they could see where we were. There are fewer colorblind people than there used to be. Yeah. So over the weekend, I got a chance to use one of those 3D printers. I made a sheet of paper. My wife showed me a website the other day. It said the typical married couple has sex twice a year. I had no idea she knew how to make a website. We just got back from Florida the other day. I was on the beach. Mary went shopping to one of those fancy boutiques. She came home all excited. She had a special soap for me. It was made out of fish oil, kelp, and sand. That was exactly what I was trying to get off of me. When I need a rubber band, I just buy asparagus. From the Big Y, by the way. I do not recommend smoking pot in baking. You will think it is $3.50 all day long. When I was a kid in the 60s, our whole family would gather together for the most exciting event there was, which was watching the countdown, because Russia and America were in a huge battle with the space race. And we'd be in front of that seat waiting for even the countdown to begin and the whole thing to start. Like, oh, it started. And then finally, climbing, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off. Super exciting. You didn't hear much about the Roman space program, and I think it was due to their countdown. X, IX, VIII, VII, VI, V, IV, I, and they didn't even have a word for blast off. But they did invent the Roman candle, and that went up 50 feet. So when you grow up in the 60s, like I have, you're in your 60s now, and you've got to take care of yourself. So what I do every day, I walk the treadmill. And to challenge myself, I raise it a couple degrees every day. I can now walk on walls. And if you're in the 60s too, they'll always say, where were you when Kennedy was shot? I said, I may not have an alibi, but I did not do it. I was in kindergarten. I said, no, I did not do it. And finally, every year, People magazine comes out with Sexiest Man Alive. Is the word alive necessary? Can you imagine sexiest man deceased? I know I wouldn't want to be a judge, and more importantly, I know I wouldn't want to be the winner. So that's it for Colorblind. We're going to get this show started right now, everybody. And now let me tell you about the first comment we have. We all know Dan Boulger's our headline, and my wife and I went out and saw him first time ever. We'd seen him online forever. It was a pleasure to meet him. And before he came on, Mark Saulich came on, who's coming on, and Mary and I, we have to